Today, we're checking out all my ATV accessories. Let's go. Some shade. First up, and probably my favorite item, we're gonna start with the biggest, this black bore back seat storage compartment. This thing is fantastic. This was the first thing I bought after getting the four-wheeler. This thing is so comfortable with this cushy seat. These armrests are amazing. Fits you just perfectly. They did a great job designing this seat. You just pull these bungee straps down, and it's this humongous storage compartment. The storage goes all the way in here. The whole thing is hollow. It goes underneath. You've got a box right here on top. You can fit so much stuff in here, and that's where most of the rest of our items are gonna be at. This thing is great. Now, if you have a Polaris, you'll know this isn't a normal rack that you can just mount something to. So I got these truck mounts right here. I'll make sure to link these below. That is the workaround to be able to mount this to your Polaris. I've got a bunch of these mounted in here. They fit right in those little grooves on the back rack area. So don't worry, if you have a Polaris, you can still use this and it works great. All right, next up, while we're on the topic of a passenger, are these footrests. This is the next best thing after this seat. If you've ever been a passenger on a four-wheeler like this, you'll know how tired your arms and shoulders get holding yourself up, and your feet kind of awkwardly dangle. Sometimes I can't always reach the foot plate here. Literally the time after I tried these on someone else's machine, I bought them the same day. These are a nice one because you can adjust the height if needed. They go on fairly easy. I did have to drill a couple holes down here and you just mount them right on. They're super secure, like on there, super solid. But for a passenger, these things are a game changer. My wife loves using these. She says her shoulders and arms aren't tired anymore, kind of bracing herself as we ride. It's super nice. It gets her feet out of the way so I can hit the brake here or have my feet up in the front. I know before we were always kind of like clashing together a little bit. I highly, highly recommend these. Next up is this air pump. I got this one that matches our machine, which I think is super fun, but it's great. It's got a super long cable to plug in. It plugs in to the cigarette lighter. The machine powers it, which is great. They're all gonna work kind of similarly. I'll link this one below, but if you want a different one, you know, look around. It's got your hose here. But how this one works is you just set your PSI. On ATVs, it's gonna be pretty low, and then hit the power button, and it'll start filling. It's great. This is actually a great one to have. I've got an identical kit in our other machine, and that one got a flat tire on a ride, and I was actually super excited to whip out the air pump and actually put it to work in the field on site. I don't know, something about it was super awesome that I was prepared and was able to pump that tire back up and finish the ride, and then I got that patched when we were back home. Definitely recommended as well. It would suck to be stranded miles and miles out of town somewhere and have to hike down for hours because you got a flat tire. One nice thing is this will auto shut off when it's done pumping. It's got a reader in there so I can plug this into my tire and actually see where the PSI is right now. And if it's below where I'm setting it, it'll pump it right up to that. One more while we're talking about the cigarette lighter and the four-wheeler powering it is a spotlight. Kind of nice to have. This one's getting a little old, but might be due for an upgrade soon, but still working for now. Okay, we're cool. Next up is a tow strap. I've got this wrapped up kind of nice and tight, but this is handy if you're ever riding with someone. You know, people get stuck. But I've actually used this not on the trail, but at home. We needed to move a dead vehicle, and it was kind of a tight corner to get around. So I whipped this out, attached it to the hitch point on the four-wheeler, hooked it up to the car, and we moved that thing with the four-wheeler. So this is really handy. It's super small, super cheap. You can roll it up tight. Nice to have. Compact first aid kit. Need I say more? And a compact shovel. While I'm unfolding this, let me tell you a story of when this came in handy. And it's not a number 2 story. Cool your jets, jeez. We were riding along,
You're driving along, la la la, woo.
And I came upon a day use site that the fire pit was still smoldering and nobody was in sight. No vehicles, no chairs, no coolers, nothing. They were gone. but the fire pit was still smoldering. And I don't know where you are, but we've got enough outdoor regulations and government involvement as it is. I don't want there to be another huge forest fire like we had a few years ago, putting more restrictions on outdoor use. So I whipped this bad boy out, buried that fire pit, and put that smolder to an end. And if you need to go number 2, you know, you got it for that too. So we're a few items deep so far, and if you don't want or don't have this back seat / storage area, you're going to be running out of space real quick. Even on Polaris, you've got a front little storage compartment, but it's pretty small and can't fit a ton of stuff, but a lot of four-wheelers won't even have that. They'll just have a front rack. So one workaround are these saddlebags. They're pretty convenient. You just screw it on right at your gas tank. They go down right in the front, look just like saddlebags. You can throw snacks in here, water bottles, any of these items just have on hand. Even more storage, or to add some if you don't have any. If you're out camping and need to gather firewood, or you're hunting, or whatever it may be, it's nice to have just a variety pack of bungees. You're gathering stuff, you can strap it down to the racks on here. These are just nice to have, whether you're hanging up tarps or whatever it is, pack of bungees. And if it's early spring, late fall, or you're just going to a high elevation on your ride, I keep gloves and a jacket on hand, but I have used them. To finish this off, I'm going to do a quick lightning round, and I take it you're into the outdoors if you're watching this, so you might also enjoy my Camp Essentials video that I did. I'll link that. So here we go, finishing it off. Another big one, you get super dusty outdoors, wet wipes. Fantastic to have. If they dry out, you just pour a little water in there, still good to go. Water, obviously. Cigarette lighter, phone charger. I've got a whole bunch of goggles on hand, so if I have passengers, other people riding aren't prepared, I've got them. I've got a bag with matches, a compass, thermometer, whistle, kit, magnifying glass, good to go. Sunscreen, and any paperwork like your signed title, I throw that in a bag so it doesn't get wet and ruined. That was a joke. And there you have it. Now if you don't mind me, I'm gonna go enjoy this ride.